what unlocked for you tonight, or just what were you seeing on the floor that sort of led to the
I think, just continue to get games under my belt. Again, I thought the first couple of games, which I still am, just trying to get feet back under me, get the win there. I thought for a lot of those first couple games, just hard to catch the wind and keep up with the pace of the game, being out. And so, tonight, I felt my wind was coming back a little more. I was a little more energetic. My legs were a little more into the shots, which allowed me to kind of get in a rhythm.
How did your eye feel after getting poked?
Yeah, it was better today. It was slightly. I mean, it was a little, a slight sensitivity to the light still, but it was fine. It wasn't an issue tonight.
When you say that you feel your feet under you more today, has that been a steady progression each game, or has today been like a notable difference?
It's been a steady progression. I feel like it's getting better and better. I still feel like I'm still trying to work through it a little bit, but I'm going longer stints, I feel like, of being able to, run without tiring out so fast. So just trying to challenge myself and, being as running and being as active as possible on both ends, just so I can start to build that out and be, where I want to be towards middle of the season. So it's an ongoing process, but I'm gaining strides in that aspect.
Paul, when you guys acquired James last season in LA, it was a rough start for you guys record-wise. I guess having experienced that, what's your message to your teammates? I guess how do you navigate sort of avoiding the panic of a 2-8 start to the season?
Yeah, I saw some statistic that the teams that kind of start off bad like this tend to play well and have a great stretch and kind of turn their season around late into the season. So not to, be leaning on that, but, I think the LA experience with the talent we had, it was definitely underwhelming and underperforming up to that point. But season's long. I do think once we get all of our pieces together, we will start making, strides in the right direction, and we'll start to get some consistency, and the chemistry will continue to take off. But, right now, Joel's first game back, Tyrese is still out, so we've yet to see this team complete. And those are big pieces for us, and so we're all trying to do maybe a little more than we're supposed to be doing, which is okay because we're trying to fill in big voids and big gaps. But once we're full strength, I think that's when we can kind of judge how we are.
Were there moments tonight when you could kind of like, even though Joel's limited and the rotation's kind of still janky a little bit, like, okay, this is how it's going to work, and this is what it's going to be like?
Yeah. You just see again the, how much he demands eyes and attention on him. And for me, it was a lot of it was just kind of learning, and I'm in isolation on some moments, and then he's posting up, so it's like it's. He's a force out there, and so you got to find him. You got to see him because he's got a mismatch. Nobody can really guard him, and if they can, it's going to be a rough day for them down there. But again, just the level of two guys on them, the rotations they have to double. Kind of similar how my time in LA was with Kawhi. Kawhi kind of demands that same attention at the blocks, but he just opens the floor up so much. So it was a lot for me to take away from this game on how I can free myself up even more and how I can try to help him get into a rhythm and free himself up even more.
I think it was the first play of the game that he went back door on the baseline or something.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's kind of an example of what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, cause, he's as great of a shooter and scorer he is. I mean, he's a willing and great passer as well. So, just being live at any moment, I think is a huge threat.
What about the complementary pieces? Caleb's, the Jared's now, I guess. I mean, it seems like you have some of those pieces to fit around you guys to slot in there. Yeah.
I mean, you go down the line from KO, Caleb, Jared, Yabo. I mean, we really have some depth. Again, I think it's just, we got to get full strength so everybody kind of knows their part and how to play their role. And so everything, the chips can kind of fall where they fall. And, from that point on, we can kind of build as a team. But I love all the pieces we have. We have depth. We got a deep roster over here. We just got to, start to put it in play.
It's been made about you guys and managing back-to-back situations this season, and obviously Joel's part of that, but you were mentioned as part of that too. I guess, how do you feel about that kind of a plan, and how does your body feel ahead of potentially playing tomorrow, because Nick didn't rule it out?
Yeah, I kind of see how it feels in the morning. 32 is kind of, especially getting back, just trying to look at all the things. Hopefully I feel really good in the morning. And kind of just see where it goes from there.
You've been a franchise player on a franchise team. You know what the pressure is of that. What do you think Joel's kind of dealing with as he ramps back up to get back on the court? Because you want to get it back out there. You want to be there for your teammates, but it may take some time.
Yeah, I think there's no pressure for him. I mean, he is the piece. He's the process. I think, he just finds his way as he should. We're here to kind of keep things going afloat until he gets back to himself. But I don't think there's any pressure for him to, do anything extra. He'll find his rhythm as the games go on. As we learn how to play off of him and play around him. I see, I've seen it in practice, so I know he's not too far off. Obviously, games are different, but I've seen him playing at a high level in these practices, so he's not too far off.
Back to Jared, real quick. What did he show you tonight, and what has he shown you this season as far as his
I think just a level of just fearless. He's relentless. He's confident. You don't see a lot of these qualities in rookies that come in and are just ready. It's impressive. He gives a ton of energy on both ends. He plays extremely hard. He's willing to do dirty work, stick his nose in there. He's trying to keep possessions alive. He's, shooting when he's open. He's attacking. I mean, he's doing everything that you can ask. And he's, to be honest, has been, a light in all of this. Coming off the bench and giving us a spark. So, it's great, especially I know for Nick to have someone so young just be reliable in that aspect.